During the First World War, the great leader of Britain was David Lloyd George. He served during the First World War as Minister of Munitions and then as Minister of War, and then from 1916 onwards as Prime Minister of a coalition government. David Lloyd George remained Britain's premier until 1922, and he was one of the Big Four, along with the leaders of France, the United States, and Italy, at the Versailles Peace Conference of 1919. In 1936, David Lloyd George toured Germany, where Hitler had been in power for nearly 4 years. After returning to Britain, he explained what he had seen and experienced in an article published in the London Daily Express newspaper. Now, what this prominent and astute British leader found in Third Reich Germany is difficult to reconcile with the image given today in our textbooks and television, motion pictures, and even supposedly authoritative works of history. Now, here's what David Lloyd George wrote in the November 17, 1936 issue of the Daily Express, quote, "I have just returned from a visit to Germany. I have now seen the famous German leader and also something of the great change he has effected. Whatever one may think of his methods, and they are certainly not those of a parliamentary country, there can be no doubt that he has achieved a marvelous transformation in the spirit of the people, in their attitude towards each other, and in their social and economic outlook. He rightly claimed at Nuremberg that in 4 years his movement had made a new Germany. It is not the Germany of the first decade that followed the war, broken, dejected, and bowed down with a sense of apprehension and impotence. It is now full of hope and confidence and of a renewed sense of determination to lead its own life without interference from any influence outside of its own frontiers. There is, for the first time since the war, a general sense of security. The people are more cheerful. There is a greater sense of general gaiety and spirit throughout the land. It is a happier Germany. I saw it everywhere, and Englishmen I met during my trip and who know Germany well were very impressed with the change. One man has accomplished this miracle. He is a born leader of men, a magnetic and dynamic personality with a single-minded purpose, as a resolute will and a dauntless heart. He is not merely in name, but in fact the national leader. He has made them safe against potential enemies by whom they were surrounded. He is also securing them against a constant dread of starvation, which is one of the most poignant memories of the last war and the first years of the peace. Over 700,000 died of sheer hunger in those dark years. You can still see the effect in the physique of those who were born into that bleak world. The fact that Hitler has rescued his country from fear of repetition of that period of despair, penury, and humiliation has given him an unchallenged authority in modern Germany. As to his popularity, especially among the youth of Germany, there can be no manner of doubt. The old trust him, the young idolize him. It is not the admiration accorded to a popular leader, it is the worship of a national hero who has saved his country from utter despondence and degradation. To those who have actually seen and sensed the way Hitler reigns over the heart and mind of Germany, this description may appear extravagant. All the same, it is the bare truth. Catholic and Protestant, Prussian and Bavarian, employer and workman, rich and poor, have been consolidated into one people. Religious, provincial, and class origins no longer divide the nation. There is a passion for unity born of dire necessity. I found everywhere a fierce and uncompromising hostility to Russian Bolshevism, coupled with a genuine admiration for the British people with a profound desire for a better and friendlier understanding of them. The Germans have definitely made up their minds never to quarrel with us again, nor have they any vindictive feelings toward the French." Unquote. Now, it's very difficult, of course, as I say, to reconcile that portrayal of Germany, not by somebody who's a fan of Hitler or a German nationalist, but by a man who, during the years that he was prime minister, did everything in his power to defeat Germany as the leader, as the prime minister of Britain. So impressive at the time was Hitler's achievement that it earned the praise even of men who are often regarded as his greatest adversaries.